thing comes from a basis of spirituality. Unfortunately, we have not made people realize that spirituality has nothing to do with the religion. It's altogether something which is very pure, irrespective of the religion, caste, creed, color. Anybody can do that, and it is to do with how do we make sure that you are in alignment with the nature and do not overdo anything and keep a balance ever. So spirituality is rather, I would say, a dire need of entrepreneurs and businessmen if they have tremendous desire to grow. If they have a spiritual background, without any stress, they can handle it with any ups and downs. And I'm firmly not only a believer, but the Western knowledge which is coming and the experience, the experiments they're doing is clearly indicating that it's happening like that.
Thank you so much. I think we have been talking to you for 1 hour. I think I have to look at my watch. So thank you so much, Narendra, for openly sharing your thoughts and your views.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
We will have open question and answer session.
I am Sanju Murkule and I'm starting a new company, but I wanted to understand about innovation in trainings. So Khan Academy has been one of the upcoming training institutions where I used to show my kid that this is a very innovative, nice platform, short videos. So on innovation, what is your take on innovative ways of doing something in India where we have so many different languages and you can do something in Maharashtra that may not be applicable somewhere else in the country. So what's your thought on creating some system which is easily reusable?
In the whole process of last 18 years, when we are running the business, something which I felt was missing badly was innovation. And now we are doing by design, how do we make innovation a value in the organization? Because without innovation, our organization survival is at stake. That's point number one, and that's my personal viewpoint. Point number two, in all ups and downs, it was not very categoric focus that you need to be innovative, but we, because of resourcefulness, some innovation happened and we survived. My personal suggestion that innovation has to be made as a part of the design of the organization, and that should be brought in the whole system. There is an organization in Israel, they teach systematic innovation, and we're going to follow that in the future. Coming back to in seed infotech and how do we be more innovative for our growth, outbid the competition as well as bring more value to the customer. The thought that we are carrying, that when we teach in a classroom, and all the current neurology studies says that students do not learn in a classroom. Most of the learning, 80-90% of the learning which has happened with us is outside the classroom. So there are experiments which are happening in business organizations as well as in schools that are studying in open air. In business organizations, they have attached gymnasium so that the brain gets oxygen after 2 to 3 hours. Quite innovative thought. So coming back to innovation in training, we are thinking of, can there be any disruptive idea where the onus of learning goes to the learner and the trainer becomes just a facilitator. We are figuring out how it can be done, and we are finding out the roots possibly in the research, latest research in neurology. And maybe in next 3 to 6 months, I can share something which is innovative there. Coming back to the point, innovation is badly required, is one of the key success factor for a company to keep growing and succeeding year on year. I don't know whether I have answered your question. Yes, please.
Yeah. See, actually, like this is an entrepreneurs forum, and I am from IT background. My concern is with the new technology, new area that is open source technology. So I wanted some your contribution in this area, where business people can get help with the open source technology. So what do you have? Anything?
We currently are offering courses in Linux. Few months back, we also started offering courses in Hadoop and Big Data. And though we do not have a very sharp focus on open source, these are the 3 or 4 things that we are teaching now. We have a desire that we should have open source lab, and with support of industry, some of the IITs, we create a community and especially those the young people, those who want to come to the industry, we teach them these open source technologies and put them in the market. So to some extent we are doing it with Linux continuously, and big data is something we are focusing on for last couple of months, and that's something that going to grow in leaps and bounds. So if you have any interest and maybe we can join hands and do something together, we are absolutely serious about that. I was talking to Dr. D.B. Phatak at IIT Pune, who was my professor, who taught me database. We are also thinking of, can we bring on the tablet that he's working on a lot of course material on such open source and make it available at very affordable price. And that's what a project we may work with IIT Pune, though not finalized yet. These are just the thoughts at this moment.
Hi Narendra, thank you for the wonderful talk. I'm Pratik, I'm a freelancer right now. I was a product manager at Jombay before. My question to you is, how do you plan to scale and sustain your company? And I'll give you a little background for that. Firstly, you said that the fate of your company depends on the fate of IT industry. So that's A. B, most of your customers are engineering students. But as you know, most of the engineering colleges are not running to their full capacity. And C, I actually forgot that point, but C, competitors actually. So there are a lot of competitors in the market. So how do you really plan to scale up and sustain yourself to become number one in the industry?
Yeah, if you see the real size, if you do market sizing of, if you just consider the slice in the market of technology training or IT training, the market is huge for the size that we would like to grow. So we are not really worried about whether there is a market available or not. Point number two, in the first recession and the second recession that we experienced, most of the competitors are in a situation that they may close down the shops for various reasons. Let's not go into details. If you have a really good business model and very robust ideology inculcated in the employee's mindset, then I think that's not a great challenge. But as you rightly pointed out, we are shifting our focus not totally from engineering to science graduates. Even in some of the IT companies, there is a mandate that for TCS, for Infosys, even for Tech Mahindra, they have given instruction to their HR that start recruiting science graduates because their expectations are comparatively less. They are more stable than the engineers, and they can be used for the kind of job most of these companies are doing at a slightly lower level. So just not the engineers, science graduate is also a market. Point number two, though there are competitors, if you are at the age of the technology, which always not possible by all of them, and we are starting an experiment which is going to be a full-blown business model. We're going to use online synchronous e-learning to teach technology to anyone in the world. So we are using possibly WebEx or GoToMeeting or similar platforms to teach Hadoop, admin Hadoop development track, or NoSQL or Mongo and various other technology which are the latest of the latest. Something which I think all of you can track, some of you those who are from IT, that's a data scientist role which is coming up. The data scientist role is going to be having huge demand. So we would like to cross the boundaries of the country also simultaneously without incurring heavy cost on creating the infrastructure. We want to be in India, bank on the best of the best trainer, and teach the technology to students or the working professions in US, UK, Australia, Canada, Middle East and ASEAN region. That's what we are planning. In next 3 to 6 months, with some experimentation, we will have a full-blown model which may fetch us $2 to $3 million in the first or second year, and that can have a high scalability.
Yeah. Hi. Hello. Yeah. Hi. I have a question here that coming back to the classes and coming back to the classes and the virtual model that is coming up. So how are you going to actually compete between these two and be a company wherein you are providing a same solution to on both of these platforms, physical and as well as virtual?
Our experience and continuous study has shown the 100% e-learning is not working. the traditional instructor